Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Ready, 125. Green, triple team.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. On play action, Winston. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Ted McKinley in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Ready, you ready.
Jameis to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Let's go now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on. Ready, you ready.
A first down throw for Winston. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The give is to Bell. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of your... And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A first carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Ryan now off the bootleg. Complete to Amaro on the right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes.
And Freeman lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
This is Freeman. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Let's go.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Gun!
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go play action. Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw, Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Winston sneaking it, and he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston to throw it this time. Airing this one out for Evans. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Ready. Black 25.
A give to Bell. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively.